Ladies and gentlemen, whether you like it or not, Hedwig!
tear me down. Don't you want to tear crazy straw up my nose. Thank you, I do love a warm hand on my entrance. My name is Hedwig, please welcome the Angry Inch! And my man, Friday through Thursday, Yitzhak. There's no need. I'm thrilled that you could join me for this special first night performance here at the beautiful and historic Bathhouse Cultural Center. Yeah, you see, that last part is very important. We thought we were booked at a very different venue. But here we are at Forever Plaid. I'm more of a Stripes girl myself. Yes, I've checked. There are no glory holes. I was in there trying to catch a senator. There are no slings. You're welcome to leave, sir. I can see the disappointment. It's very clear. No, but this may come as a surprise to many of you, but this is not my first time performing at a bathhouse. It's a different kind of performing, but you know, we'll see if I can stay on my feet this time. Welcome to the fabulous opening night of my unlimited Texas run. And when it comes to huge openings, a lot of people think of me. Many more of you, though, have only recently become aware of me. Yeah, it took a tragedy for you to finally pay attention. But now you're interested. Intrigued, even. Who is this Hedwig, and why have we never heard of her before, Bob? Well, that's a question I've been asking myself for years. Minus the Bob. How did some slip of a girly boy from communist East Berlin become the internationally ignored song stylist, barely standing before you? That's what I want to talk about tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to talk about calamity and scandal. I don't want to talk about my relationship with a certain well-known rock icon, Tommy Gnosis. Even though at this very moment he is probably talking about me. You see, by some freak coincidence, he is previewing his tour of atonement at the American Airlines Center in Dallas. It's a little bit bigger than this. Yeah, it's coming live to us via radio on Kiss FM. Let's tune in. Let's tune in. Hello, Dallas! Hey, listen! There's someone I'd like to thank for the way they've handled this tragedy. With incredible loyalty in the face of a lot of lies. And that someone is you, my fan! Together, no one's gonna tear us down. I wrote every song on that fucking album. And by the way, the tabloids got it right. He was driving, he was on blow, and he was getting blown by yours truly. And he did hit that school bus full of deaf children. One survived. Now blind. I taught him everything he knows, and has apparently forgotten about rock and roll. And he barely even mentioned my name on that giant sucking sound Ellen calls a show. Which I'm sure you all saw, otherwise I'd be singing for the Ducks. Or if I was lucky, my agent, Phyllis Stein. Did you make it tonight, Phyllis? Oh, no. I'm sorry. I'm completely wide open tonight. You see, the road is my home. My home, the road. And when I think of all the people I have come upon in my travels, I have to think of all the people that have come upon me. It's not like that, okay? We're talking about the geography of human contact here. the triangulation of a pair of eyes on my face, the latitude and longitude of a pair of hands on my body. These are my only clues as to my place in this world, as to who I am. Who is Mystery Woman? I laugh, because I will cry if I don't. Or I'll drink. It's a crazy shrub. So much fun. You know, I recently found my first diary, age 2 through 6, fully illustrated, and I realized that so many people have touched me on my way to this stage tonight. How can I say who has touched me the most? Could it have been my father, the American GI who left when I was barely able to speak my first words? Daddy, when I grow up, I will kill you. I was a sweet kid. Or could it have been my East German mother? No. No, when she touched me, it was usually by accident, reaching for the beans at the table or something. One time, we were watching Jesus Christ Superstar on American Forces television, and I turned to Mother. Jesus said the darndest things. She slapped me. Don't ever mention that name to me again. But he died for our sins. So did Hitler. Absolute power corrupts. Absolutely. Better to be powerless, my son. Well, she got her wish when the wall went up. We happened to be living on the east side, and Mother was given a job teaching sculpture to limbless children. Socialism. God rest its soul. But most of my time was spent listening to American Forces radio. Our apartment was so small that Mother made me play it in the oven. This is an oven. Late at night, I would rest my head on the top rack and listen to the American masters. Tony Tennille, Debbie Boone, Anne Murray, who was actually a Canadian working in the American idiom. And then there were the crypto-homo rockers. Lou Reed, God rest his soul. Iggy Pop, David Bowie, who was actually an idiom working in both Canada and America. These artists, they left as deep an impression on me as that oven rack did on my face. To be a young American in muskrat love, soft as an easy chair, not even the chair I am, I said, have I never been mellow? Have I never tried? And the colored girls sing, do, 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 do. I sing along, do, 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 do. But never with the melody. How could I do it better than Tony or Debbie? Once I couldn't resist. You light up my life. Mother threw a tomato at my head. But I was really quite content to sing gentle backup harmonies in my oven, while Mother sculpted in the shower. When the hour grew late, Mother would call from the bathroom, "Well, that's me." And I would reply from the kitchen, "Well, I guess that's me too." We would wash our feet and brush our teeth and lie down next to one another on the narrow pallet that we shared after Daddy left. Like two pieces of a puzzle that don't quite fit, but are jammed together and left on the table by some dangerous shut-in with too much time on his hands. I'm sorry. I'm completely dilated tonight. I would like to share with you all a bedtime story that mother once whispered to me in the dark, and then later retracted. Whatever allowed her to reveal such a story to such a little boy, I'll never know. But I remember it like it happened yesterday. When the earth was still flat, and the clouds made of fire, and the mountains stretched up to the sky, sometimes higher. Folks roamed the earth like big rolling kegs. They had 2 sets of arms, they had 2 sets of legs, they had 2 faces peering out of one giant head, so they could watch all around them as they talked while they read, and they never knew nothing of love. This was before the origin of love. The origin of love. Now there was 3 sexes then, one that looked like 2 men glued up back to back. All the children of the sun, and similar in shape and girth as the children of the earth. They looked like 2 girls rolled up in one. And the children of the moon were like a 4 shoved off the school. They were part son, part earth, part daughter, part son. Now the gods grew quite scared of our strength, our defiance, and Thor said, I'm gonna kill them all with my hammer, like I killed the giants. Oh, but Zeus said no, you won't let me. I'll use my lightning like scissors, like I get the legs off the whales, dinosaurs into lizards, and then he grabbed up some bolts, and he let out a laugh, so I split them right down the middle, gonna cut them right up in half, and the storm cloud gathered above in the rainbows of fire. And then fire shot down from the sky in bolts like shooting flames of the night, and it ripped right through the flesh of the children of the sun and the moon and the earth, and something can come, so boom, into a hole, pulled it into a belly trick in my angel, the price we pay, and Osiris and the gods of the Nile gathered up a big storm to lower her in pain, and scatter us away in a blood wind and rain, and the sea of tidal waves to wash us away, and if we don't behave, the blood is gonna get slowly hot around one foot, and looking through one eye. Last time I saw you, we had just split in 2. You was looking at me, and I was looking at you. You had a way so familiar I could not recognize, 'cause you had blood on your face. I had blood in my eyes, but I could swear by your expression that the pain down in your soul was the same as blood down in mine. Oh, that's the pain. It cuts a straight line down through the heart. We call it love. So we wrapped our arms around each other, trying to shove ourselves back together. We was making love, making After Mother finished, she began to snore. But I had to go somewhere I could think. I crept into the kitchen and I put my head in the oven. I was very Sylvia Plath back then. Oh good, that's an intellectual joke. It is clear that I must find my other half. But is it a he or a she? Is it Daddy? He went away. Or is it Mother? I was suddenly very afraid to go back to bed. What does this person look like? Identical to me, or somehow complementary? Does my other half have what I don't? Did he get the looks? The luck? The love? Were we really separated forcibly, or did he just run off with the good stuff? Or did I? Will this person embarrass me? And what about sex? Sex! Is that how we put ourselves back together again? Is that what Daddy was trying to do? Or can two people actually become one again? And if it happens while we're driving on the Autobahn, can we still use the diamond lane? Practical questions of wholeness, ladies and gentlemen. Completion. Think of it. I thought of it. I thought of the power. The gods were terrified. Magnifying side. Very funny, Yitzhak. Very passive-aggressive. Look, Yitzhak, immigration! Not so funny now, huh? If you behave, I'll let you shave my ass later. That's all. It's not that hairy. Shut up. I'm joking. I'm joking. Do you like the hair, ladies and gentlemen? Is there fucking bald hair? Yeah, I can touch you. Do you like the hair, ladies and gentlemen? A little better. You work too hard. You know, these are actually my lungs. They're my Aquanet lungs. They kick in on the high notes. Looks like we've got some trouble in the West Wing. Fix that up real quick. That's how you do it here in Texas, right? The bigger the hair, the closer to God. No, look, I want to be serious now for a little bit. I was just telling Yitzhak the other day how nervous I was about tonight. Would I still be able to fit into that old Sergio Valente? Well, there was no time to diet, so I had my heart removed. Suddenly, I'm a perfect size 6. Eat your heart out. Yitzhak, was machst du da verdammt nochmal? Sorry you had to see that, ladies and gentlemen. When I met him, he said he wanted to be a model. Yeah, a foot model, maybe. But enough about him. Let's get back to the show. Beach! Yes. Did somebody call my name? I thought I heard my beach! Realized that there was only one person who had ever been there for me in my life. And that person was me. The accident was crying for help. I was crying help to me. Well, what about me? Without me, he would have never swerved into that oncoming short bus and got all that attention. I would like to take a moment here against the advice of my lawyer. I have a lawyer. Jim Adler, the Texas Herndon. I had just finished up a late-night engagement. In the meatpacking district. You know what kind. We're talking about the newly renovated Tony meatpacking district here, okay? You've heard of Soho and NoHo? Well, this is meatpacking, okay? There I was on 14th Street, the very boulevard of Meatpa, when a limo pulled up. Well, I stepped in, naturally mistaking it for my own. In the limo sat Tommy Gnosis. Well, we were astonished. We did that sound. There was a lot of that in Meatpa that night. It had been years, so we dropped the driver off and drove up and down the island doing drugs and catching up. He talked about the disappointing sales of his second album, the one he wrote without me. He spoke of his loneliness, and I reminded him of happier times. I just couldn't keep my mouth shut, and we all know the rest. So you can imagine when the story broke that Tommy's people were willing to offer me a small fortune to keep this all to myself. As if I'd accept their filthy lucre. As if selling the story of someone else's pain was my only means of support. As if I hadn't already launched my new fragrance, Atrocity. By Hedwig. It's a fragrance for a man or a woman. Or a freak. You want to try some out? Hedwig, Yitzhak. Let's send this out there. Go. Smell him. He's a scratch and sniff. Nice. You get used to it. Okay, that's enough. Thank you. I hope you got some to that one over there. He looks pretty smelly. You look great. You look great. I digress. I know I digress, I digress, I digress. One day, in the late mid-'80s, I was in my early late 20s. I had just been dismissed from university after delivering a brilliant lecture on the influence of German philosophy on rock and roll, entitled, "You Can't Always Get What You Want." It's another intellectual. At 26, my academic career was over. I had never kissed a boy, and I was still sleeping with mother. The search for my other half on this side of the wall had proved futile. Might he be found on the other? But how to get over? People had died trying. Such were the thoughts flooding my tiny head on the day that I was sunning myself in an old bomb crater I had discovered near the wall. I am naked, lying face down on a piece of broken church, inhaling a fragrant westerly breeze. The new McDonald's had opened on the other side. My God, I deserved a break today. But all I ever get is the unhappy meal. The sun is hot, but I feel a sudden chill. I look over my shoulder. A head-shaped shadow is resting on the pillow of my ass. Girl, I sure don't mean to annoy you. My name is Corporal Luther Robinson. I turn my body to face him. My name is Hansel. Luther is silent for a moment as he stares at my little bishop in a turtleneck. Hansel. Well, you must like candy. I like Gummibärchen. Out of his pocket comes a strange packet that says gummy bears. Gummy bears? I select a single clear bear. It's the biggest one I have ever seen. The taste is completely different from a gummy bear, yet somehow familiar. It's sweeter than a gummy bear, and softer too. Its little gummy body stretches on the rack of my molars. Wow, I feel so optimistic. What is that flavor? He pours me a handful, his eyes heavy with an unfamiliar desire. Could it be the desire to please? Me? I suddenly recognize the flavor in my mouth. It's the taste of power. Not bad. Damn, Hansel. I can't believe you're not a girl. You're so fine. Why don't you take the whole bag? He searches my face for news of his fate. His expression is echoed in scores of tiny faces pressing against clear plastic. Panting faces of every imaginable color, creed, and non-Aryan origin. Hogging up the bag like the windows of a Polish bathhouse. It's only a shower. Absolute power. I push Luther away and I stumble naked through the ruins back toward blander, less complicated confections, leaving in my wake a trail of rainbow carnage. The next day, Hansel follows the trail back, and lying there on my slab are 3 Milky Way, a roll of Necco wafers, some Pop Rocks, sounds for you, baby, and a giant-sized sugar daddy named Luther.
Bullshit!
Except for once my mother's pantyhose. So you think only a woman can truly love a man? What do you think? America. Drill, baby, drill. It was good for me, too. Oh, I need a refill. So it was not a traditional wedding. For example, when Luther popped the question, I was on my knees. She got it. I invited him home for dinner. After dessert, Luther presents a ring, an application for American citizenship, and a wig. He loves me, Mother. He wants to marry me, get me the hell out of here. I put the wig on my head. It's a hideous beige shag. Is it really so crazy, Mother? It might just work. My mother's face might have been a photograph. It was so still. After what seemed like a lifetime, probably hers, she reaches out her hand to straighten the wig. Get me my passport and my camera, Hansel. I know a certain party. Yeah, the party she'd be having after I left. It's a simple cut and paste job. We change the photo and you can use my name, Hedwig Schmidt. Not so simple, ladies. Baby, you know I love you, and I'm always thinking about you. But I gotta marry you here, in East Berlin. And that means a full physical examination. Well, they will see right away that I have baby. Baby, to walk away, you've got to leave something behind. Am I right, Mrs. Schmidt? I always thought so, Luther. Hansel, to be free, one must give up a little part of oneself. And I know just the doctor to take it. Don't move. Go! Change operation got botched. My guardian angel fell asleep on the watch. Now all I've got is a Barbie doll front. I got an angry end.
November 9th, 1988. A tiny registrar's office with a breathtaking view over the vault. Hansel Schmidt becomes Mrs. Hedwig Robinson.
Tomorrow, I'm leaving on a jet plane, and by the time I get to Phoenix, love will keep us together. 'Cause I'm just an embryo with a long, long way to go, but I know too much to turn back and pretend.
November 9th, 1989, Junction City, Kansas.
I sit in my mobile home and on bootleg cable watch the wall come down. Divorced, penniless, a woman. I cry because I will laugh if I don't. Suddenly I miss Mother. I consider calling Berlin, but then remember with envy her recent escape to sunny Yugoslavia. Maybe Luther would be home. No. He was never the one. Never the missing half. I catch myself in a mirror, and for the first time see clearly the horror hunkering on my head. It's the same carpet remnant Luther presented to me a year ago to disguise my receding hair. Receding. I am receding. I tear the wig off my scalp and hurl it across the room at a pile of unopened anniversary presents. There it lies, feigning shock. My personal hair system. My personal hell. My Hedwig. On nights like this, when the world's a bit a mess, and the lights go down across the trailer park, I get down, I feel bad, feel on the verge of going mad, and then it's time to punch the clock. I put on some makeup, turn on the tape deck, and put the wig back on our single, yeah? Oh. That was a rock and roll gesture. No, actually, that was more of a heavy metal gesture. Do you want to see a punk rock gesture? See, it's the direction of the aggression that defines the movement. Do you want to see a pop princess gesture? Who the fuck knows where that aggression is directed? Daddy issues, I can relate. It's fucking freezing in here now. Yitzhak. How about this band, ladies and gentlemen? On bass, we've got Yitzhak. Yeah, on guitars, Schlucko. On drums, Christoph. And my trusted musical director. It's a fucking code. You don't know how to fucking work a code? My trusted musical director. Damn it. Skszp. Oh, so very talented and so lucky to be here, right, boys? Yeah, okay, well, let's watch the tempo on that last one, okay? Do you like the pelt, ladies and gentlemen? Is there a freaking wall here or something? Do you like the pelt, ladies and gentlemen? This isn't my Mexico tour. We're speaking the same fucking language. No, tell me truthfully, because some bitch stopped me on the way in. What poor unfortunate creature had to die for you to wear that? My Aunt Trudy, I replied. Come on, I told him to turn that off before the show. Listen, I'm sorry about this. I have to take this. It could be important. It's a Serbian cell phone. Calm down. Hello? Oh, it's my agent, Phyllis. One second. Hey, Phyllis. Where the fuck are you? This is a mobile. Yeah, oh my god. That's great. Okay, listen, I have to call you back. No, I'm doing a fucking show. Okay. I have some amazing news, ladies and gentlemen. Guess who is the new spokesperson for the Tourist Board of Greater Serbia? Huh? Yeah. Come back to Greater Serbia. Come Christian, come Jew. We hope you can join us. We cleansed it for you. You laughed. It says something about you. I'm just workshopping it, okay? You make me feel so isolated up here all of a sudden. Have I introduced Yitzhak, my husband? There's no need. We met during my great Croatian tour of the late mid-90s. He was the most famous drag queen in all of Zagreb. Billed as the last Jewess in the Balkans, he lip-synced something from Yentl? Yeah, under the name Crystal Nacht. He was good. He was too good. His applause drowned out my introduction and I refused to go on. But on my way out, he begged me to take him with me. While my face might have been my mother's, it was so still. I said to him, Crystal, to walk away, you've got to leave something behind. I'll marry you on the condition that a wig never touch your head again. He agreed, and we have been inseparable ever since, and will continue to be, right, honey bear? Sugar kisses. Look, Yitzhak, immigration. Barbara Streisand? You're no fun. Go back to your hole. Smells. Listen, I hope you all are becoming fans of Hedwig. Now you're catching on. The call response type thing, you see. Because I am certainly becoming a fan of dance.
Cunt!
Tommy, can you hear me? From this milkless tit, you have sucked the very business we call show. Okay. You want to know about Tommy Gnosis? I'll tell you about Tommy Gnosis. Get this dead thing off of me. She doesn't know how to work this fucking thing. Those were real. After my divorce, I scraped by with babysitting gigs and odd jobs. Mostly the jobs we call blow. I had lost my job at the base PX and I had lost my gag reflex. You do the math. I sat for the baby of General Skszp, the commander of the nearby army fort, and his other son was the artist formerly known as my butt boy. Yeah, we were talking about Tommy Speck at this time, right? Tommy Speck was a 17-year-old, four-eyed, pock-marked, Dungeons and Dragons obsessed Jesus freak with a fish on his truck. Well, I found him incredibly hot. Perhaps it was his disdain for authority, or his struggle with organized religion. One time, I caught him punishing the bishop. It's from an earlier metaphor. Well, he was in the bath with the door wide open, clearly waiting for me. So I reached down and I finished his grace off. That's the end of that metaphor, I promise. On my way out, I dropped a flyer on the bath mat. By the way, Tommy, I'll be performing a short set tonight at Dr. Espresso's Seattle-style coffee enema bar. Maybe I'll see you there. I had recently returned to my first love, music. I had tried singing back in Berlin. They threw tomatoes at me. After the show, I had a lovely salad. But newly motivated, I bought myself a cheap electric piano. That song was built in. It was so cheap. And I found myself a few Korean sergeants' wives who churned out a mean rhythm section. It was very funky. Somehow, we became quite the draw, singing the hits of the day under the name The Angry Inch. That night, the crowd was small, but hostile. Thank you. Both of you. That song was by Mr. Kurt Cobain. That kid's got a future, huh? Give it up for Quang Yi on guitar! Give it up, Quang. Give it up! Not in my Starbucks. Looks like we have a celebrity in the house tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Over by the sweet-in-law. Little Tommy Speck, the general's son. That's more than I got, honey. Oh, look. He's embarrassed. I'm a little nervous myself. You see, this is the first song I have ever written. It's actually for a guy to sing. I believe that we are talking to Phil Collins's people about this one. Then again, aren't we all? I know the sun is in your eyes, and hurricanes and rains, black and cloudy skies. You're running up and down that hill. You turn it on and off at will. There's nothing here to thrill or pull you down. And if you've got no other choice, you know you can follow my voice through the dark turns and noise of this wicked little town. Oh, Lady Luck has left you here, and they're so twisted up, they'll twist you up right there. The pious, hateful, and devout, you're turning tricks till you're turned out. The wind so cold it burns, you're burning up, blowing round. And if you've got no other choice, you know you can follow my voice through the dark turns and noise of this wicked little town. The fates of bishops and their crew. You learn too late, you've used your wishes like a fool. And then you're someone you are not, and Junction City ain't the spot. Remember Mrs. Lockton when she turned around. And if you've got no other choice, you know you can follow my voice through the dark turns and noise of this wicked little town. It's the shroud of Hedwig, ladies and gentlemen. You see that in the cheap seats? Everyone paid the same. Yeah. You can hang that in the gallery, yeah? Call it Hedwig's selfie. That's kind of freaking me out. The next day, I was putting the little Speck baby to bed when Tommy appeared with a very expensive-looking guitar. Your show? That song? My dad got me this guitar to apologize for being such a pathetic little dictator. You want to come up to my room? We went up to the attic and he sang me songs. Classics, I was informed. The bands were new to me. Boston, Kansas, Europe, Asia, America. I put my hand on the strings. Travel exhausts me, honey. Where are you from, Hedwig? I told him my story. His face might have been a Yes album cover. It was so still. Have you accepted Jesus Christ as your personal Lord and Savior? I told him I was aware of our Lord. I loved his work. You know, what he was saving us from was his fucking father. I mean, what kind of God creates Adam in his image and then pulls Eve out of him to keep him company and tells him not to eat from the tree of knowledge? I mean, he was so micromanaging. So was Adam. But Eve just wanted to know shit. She took a bite of the apple and she found out what was good and what was evil. And she gave it to Adam so that he would know, because they were in love. And that was good. They now knew. Hedwig, would you give me the apple? These were the words falling from those lips. And his eyes. His irises were clear cylinders of surprising depth. And emptiness. Just a few puddles of brownish pain sloshed around inside. Same brown as my eyes. At the time, Tommy's performance options were limited to the occasional guitar mass. I initiated a 6-month curriculum of rock history, lyrics, grooming, and vocal training. My patented oven technique. For his graduation, I gave him his name, Tommy Gnosis. We collaborated. Songs exploded out of us. He started singing backup for me at Dr. Espresso's. Teenage girls started showing up. So I added a few duets, standing room only, and then the Sizzler called. Has the Sizzler ever called you? They have a lovely salad bar. Well, in 6 months' time, we were out-grossing monster trucks in Wichita. With that kind of money coming in, I was able to quit all my jobs, even the ones called blow, and devote myself entirely to our career. We were very happy. One day, I am curled up in the trailer, enjoying my usual late afternoon constitutional of grain alcohol and Brita. I like to be good to myself. It's filtered. Suddenly, Tommy is at the door in tears. Honey, what is it? My dad? My mom? My fucking parents? That's a lot of people. Yeah. I hold him, as I have never been held. But as usual, he squirms and slides behind me and clutches my spine to his chest. I'm suddenly very much aware of the fact that we have not kissed in all the months that we have been together. In fact, he has maintained a near-perfect ignorance of the front of me. Perhaps it's because of his preference for over-the-shoulder love. Honey, why don't we work on that new song while I finish plucking your eyebrows? Look what you've done. Shit. Another song blows in from the trailer next door.
And I will always love you.
This song has been on a loop for 3 fucking days. Suddenly, Tommy looks up at me through new lenses. One blue and one pink. What do you think, Hedwig? Does love last forever? No. But this song does. Don't knock a multi-platinum single unless you got one. I wish I could hit those notes. Just move your lips and I'll sing them for you, honey, from a shadowy corner of the stage, like Mick Jagger's backup singers. We laugh at the professional reference. I return to his brows.
But above all this, I wish you love.
Seriously, Tom, yeah. I believe love is immortal. Look what you've done. Fuck! How is it immortal? I don't know, honey. Perhaps because love creates something that was not there before. What? Like procreation? Yes, but not only. What? Like recreation. He grabs my ass and laughs. I don't. Sometimes just creation. Don't move. I paint a bold silver cross on his forehead. Honey, have you thought of a B flat after that B? Look what you've done.
And I will always.
Tommy rises slowly and draws the curtains that attach at the top and the bottom. He reaches out his hand and I take it. I notice how well his Harlem Spice nail color complements my own dusty menses. He spins me into his arms and rubs his pelvis into the small of my back. Look what you've done. You made me whole. Before I met you, I was the song. But now I'm the video. Look what I've done. I made you whole. You know that you were just a ham. But then came me, the dull pineapple rings. He laughs, and I am filled with an ancient clarity. He's the one. The one that was taken. The one that left. The twin born in fission, he'll die in fusion. Our fusion, cold fusion, unlimited power, unlimited knowledge, the secrets he must hold, the memories that we have made that are now forgotten, the words to complete the sentence that I began. I am. My eyes filled with muddy Maybelline tears. Oh, Hedwig, when Eve was still inside of Adam, they were in paradise. So when she separated from him, that's when paradise was lost. So when she re-enters him, paradise will be regained. That's right, honey. However you want it, just kiss me while we do it. I wrench my body around to face him, and I thrust his hands between my legs. What is that? It's what I have to work with, honey. My mom is probably wondering, you're such a sissy, lispy, girly Nancy boy. What are you so afraid of? I love you, then love the front of me. Love the front of me. And he runs out the back door. It's nice over here, out of the spotlight. You and me, singing back up in our oven. A couple of survivors, the German and the Jew. Think of the symmetry. Think of the power. Think of the publicity. The gods would be terrified. I was born on the other side of a town ripped in two, and no matter how hard I tried, I end up black and blue. I rose from off of the doctor's slab. I lost a piece of my heart. Now everyone gets to take a stab. They cut me up into parts. I gave a piece to my mother. I gave a piece to my man. I gave a piece to the rock star. He took the good stuff and ran.